Hey garden friends, welcome back. We are going to be updated, or I'm going to update you on the germination of the Dollar Tree seeds that I sowed along with you a week or so ago. And I'll show you how far they've gotten. And then I'm going to talk about some of your questions and comments, etc. So let's get rolling on our update on the Dollar Tree seeds. And I had a lot of response to my Dollar Tree seed. I wouldn't say haul because I really didn't buy that many, but I was really showing you the different seeds they had for $1.25 and four for $1.25 and the different ones. I still have some of them I haven't sown yet, like the marigolds. These are the French marigolds. Now remember, I did tell you that only the French marigolds are the ones that help with the nematode problem in your soil, not all of them. And then I had a few vegetables. Now, that's one thing. I had a lot of you comment that you grew the vegetables and they did fantastic for you. So that was good to know. I was astounded with the response I got from many of you viewers and how many of you use them. And some of you, which I'll relate later, even got more for the $1.25 than 4 packets. But now, update. Okay, here's the zinnias. Now, only one has popped up this far, but these others, there's one, all 6 cells have at least one coming up, and the others have 2. Now, I did not put these on the heat mat like I normally would for zinnias. Zinnias like really warm soil to germinate and grow. So they're taking their time, but let me put my glasses on so I can make sure I can see well enough. Yeah, at least 50% have germinated so far, and it looks like I'm going to get better success rate than that. So I would say I'm going to get 75%. Some of you, I can see where they're just bulging the top of the soil, and that's why I know they're coming through. So that was the zinnias. These are the cactus zinnias. So that was a success. Very impressive germination rate. Now this is the lettuce, and this has so far 80% germination rate, and it looks like I'm getting some more over here, so I may very well see an even greater germination rate. Now this lettuce was the was one that somebody said was really good for them. I don't see the seed packet here because I've got a lot of things going on in here. But so I can't remember the exact name of it, but if you go back and watch my video on the Dollar Tree seeds, I tell you which lettuce it is. We eat tons and tons of lettuce, so the more lettuce I grow, the better. One of my favorites, and I have a video coming up of the favorite vegetables I like to grow and why. And amazingly enough, a lot of the seeds are from Renee's garden seeds, but yeah, I have some of my tried and true favorites there. So that's coming up. So here are the Sweet Williams. Now these are taking longer to germinate, but they have, I was worried they weren't going to germinate, but I've noticed evidence of the germination now. They're just starting to pop up. So I just have a few in here. I was going to wait a little longer to do this video, and I thought, no, why not? You know, it's already, I already could tell they're germinating just fine. And all of that. So great germination rate from my Dollar Tree seeds. Now, the lettuce and the Sweet Williams, after I sowed them, I left them in the greenhouse a few nights. That would help with the, not stratification, yes, the stratification for the Sweet Williams, because they do benefit from that. I didn't leave them in for the full time frame. Usually it's like 2 weeks to a month, because I wanted to get them going and see what they would do. So they're germinating just fine, even though they didn't get cold stratified for a long period of time. And the lettuce doesn't really need it. I just forgot to take it in. But the zinnias I did take in and put right away on the light shelf, but I didn't use a heat mat. Now about heat mats, they do help with quicker germination with many plants. But from testing myself and watching even a garden show, when you start them on heat mats and then you have some that you don't start on heat mats, the heat mat ones will germinate faster, but the ones not germinated on a heat mat will catch up very quickly. So if you don't have a heat mat, don't worry about it. You don't really need one. It just speeds things up for some plants. I know zinnias are one of them because they do like warm soil. Even my light rack is in my office, and at nights it does cool down. So that could have been slowing the zinnia germination rate, or that's just the rate they go at. So these are all going to go back up on my light rack and to continue to grow. I also wanted to share with you, before we get on to the comments that viewers made on my seed starting, dollar store seed starting thing. Look at this. This is a geranium cutting I took just a couple months ago and put up on my light rack. It is a cutting, can you see back here? Let me see. Yes, you can. Right back there from that plant. I wanted more of that color. And it has been blooming its heart out in my office this whole time. Look at what an outstanding plant that is already becoming. And then this one's a bunny. This one had a larkspur come up in it. I don't know, it was in the soil, how it got in there, but it's a lavender larkspur. These blooms are starting to dry up. But this is a cutting I took off of this plant right here. Is it in the, yeah, I can see it. So this one I took even later than that one, and it's barely this tall, the plant itself. Not very big at all, but it's already blooming. So I've been just having fun enjoying these blooms in my office while it's through the winter months. This also had a foxglove come up in it. It must have been somehow in the soil. Because I use my turkey compost that is stored outside in a pile, this is composted turkey manure and whatever else they compost with it from a local organic turkey farm, and I buy it in bulk because I use so much potting soils, etc. This I make my own potting soil with. And so it just makes it cheaper for me to do it that way. I add a little bit of perlite, sometimes some green sand or horticultural sand. It's not a big fancy recipe to make it. I don't use peat moss in it, and I don't use coconut coir. And I don't use the coconut coir now once I learned that them stripping it from the coconut farms, even though you think it's a recycled product, it is what would fall there and be used as the mulch fertilizer. Well, now they're having to use synthetic fertilizers in those areas, and the water usage to process the coconut coir is detrimental to that area. So it's not the sustainable alternative that many people think. And for my personal choice is not to use it anymore. And I'm finding I don't really need it. Mine with the turkey compost with a little bit of perlite works fine. And a viewer asked about this sieve. This is the sieve that sits on top of a 5-gallon bucket. In fact, I will show you. You see how it sits? And when I start dumping my turkey compost in here, I'll sieve it this way, or I just bring the bucket of compost in. And then as I scoop it in here, and then I sieve it. And then I have a bucket down here where I put the wood chips and stuff that are too big. And I got this off of Amazon, and I will link it in the box below. Love this thing. It is very, very sturdy. And it wasn't that, I think it cost me $17, $18. So it wasn't badly priced, but I'm loving this thing a lot. Alrighty then, so let's go on to some of your comments. Some people had concerns, and I found a lot of them just amazing that you all have had such great success with the Dollar Tree seeds. I guess I shouldn't say amazing. The response was overwhelming. So here's from Pleasant Prickles. Love that name. I've had great success with American Seed Company. The most prolific tomatoes I grew last year were the large cherry tomatoes. They were delicious. It cost me 30 cents, and I was giving pints and pints away. It was a tomato jungle. I love that description, a tomato jungle. Yes, when you find something that really works well for you like that, you're a huge proponent of it, and you'll tell others. I have a favorite cherry tomato. Now, I haven't tried the one from Dollar Tree. I may. But my favorite is called Camp Joy. And it's an heirloom. And even my friends who were always promoting Sun Gold as their favorite cherry tomato. When I had them try this one, Camp Joy, they were converts, and then they immediately switched from growing Sun Gold to this one. So yeah, so just be experimental, have fun trying. Jujubee7351 says, I've had better success with Dollar Tree than other seed companies. They are awesome. Mika7777, yes, the Dollar Tree seeds are worth it. My garden last year was great. I'm starting on my garden now from Dollar Tree seeds. Good gardening. Now, one person, Timothy Crott 7248, states, Pam, I buy American seeds at the Dollar General. That's where I got some of mine last year. At the end of the season for 10 cents a pack. I bought $10 worth of various seeds, great deal, and they germinate fine. If not, I'm out 10 cents. What a great attitude. That's so true. Now, as far as someone commented on here, I'm not going to scroll through to find it. They said it's not about quantity, it's about quality. When I had stated that you don't get quite as many seeds in a packet with the Dollar Tree seeds than you may from other seed companies. And I found something that I found interesting, and I think you will too. I'm going to go back to some more comments. Now, I wanted to look up about the quality of Dollar Tree or Dollar General, just this American seed company seeds. So this is from the University of North Carolina. And this says, the good news is that the least expensive seeds for a particular species and cultivar, example, basil, Italian large leaf, will typically produce the same results as planting the most expensive seeds. So I'll give you an example. I love the seeds of black-seeded Simpson lettuce. Now, many companies carry the seed for that. And if I bought the Dollar Tree seeds and I bought a more expensive packet of seeds, I would get the same results. So you don't have to spend more to get a better quality seed. And here is why. The reason is that we have a well-regulated seed industry. Federal and state laws, regulations ensure that all commercially available farm and garden seeds are properly tested for purity, noxious weed seeds, and germination rate. The Federal Seed Act of 1939 requires accurate labeling and purity standards for seeds in commerce and prohibits the importation and movement of adulterated or misbranded seeds. Seed packets in the commercial trade must have the species, cultivar, year packed for, date, year packed for date and meet federal minimum germination standards. So that told me that the Dollar Tree seeds are not less quality. They meet the standards, and therefore you can buy them with confidence. Now, some people said that they had, whoops, got a yellow sticky trap on me. Yes, I use those for fungus gnats because moist potting soil that's been outdoors will have the larvae in it. Yes, and I use them and it works very well. All right, I had one person say that they totally failed with the Dollar Tree seeds, but that doesn't tell you how they start. I've had fails with other seed company seeds, and it came down to something I did. It wasn't necessarily the seeds. And learning that. Now, I also mentioned in the last, on that seeds, Dollar Tree seed video, that don't have lotions and stuff on your hands. That can get on the seed coat and inhibit, seed germination rate. Okay, here's another one. I'm just going to put this up there. I can't pronounce the name. They work great for me, both flowers and vegetables. I buy them on clearance around October for a penny. Now, that's great if you can, but many sell out. So we didn't have any available this last October. I looked at my local Dollar General. Okay, so Dollar Tree seeds are so worth it. This is from Rhonda Sand, S4E. Dollar Tree seeds are so worth it, and I'm Canadian. I make sure I stop at many Dollar Tree stores and stock up on seeds when I'm in the States. I've had great success. Now, there's somebody who goes out of their way to get them. They found such success. Tirare lombrices. Sorry if I mispronounced that. The best tasting peas that I have been growing for the last 7 years are from the Dollar Tree seeds. Every year I make sure to save the seeds from my plants because I'm afraid one day they are going to change the seeds and stop selling them. That's a good point. You can save seeds on many that are not like F1 hybrids. Let me see, like the Queen Lime series, our specialty zinnia, but they will not reseed true if you have a bunch of zinnias in your yard, meaning you can collect the seeds from them, but they're not going to come out and be the same flowers because of cross-pollination. Now, for specialty seeds like that, you do want to go to like a Johnny Seeds or whoever else carries the Queen Lime series, and those were very, very popular, or have been. I tried them. They were unimpressive in my garden. And I was listening to a podcast about seed breeding and how they try to get certain traits. And come to find out with the Queen Lime series, which also of zinnias, which also is true of other colors that are specialty bred, not just your regular ones. Your growing conditions, your soil conditions, and many other factors affect the color. Now, some, like if living in a cooler, moister environment, like up in Washington, they'll get more lime color in those flowers. And then you go somewhere that's warmer and longer growing season and drier, more arid, they get more of the other color whether it's a pink or red or whatever, they get less of the lime. So the same packet of seeds can have two different effects depending on your growing conditions. And that's very true of many other things as well. So take that into consideration whenever you have a seed you want to grow or a flower you want to grow and it doesn't turn out like all the pictures. It could be your growing conditions. And even with different tomato varieties, your conditions, your soil, etc., can affect flavor. So just keep that in mind if you wonder, like I wondered, why did everybody like these Queen Lime series zinnias? They turn out muddy and not even pretty at all. I'm like, this is not worth my time and space in my garden. And then when I read that, it all clicked and made sense. So that is true of a lot of seeds. Alrighty. So Cynthia Gustafson 2541 stated, I had the attitude that those seeds couldn't be any good, but I tried them and had great success. Last year, my Dollar Tree sold them for $4 for $1. Yes, since prices have been going up, they used to be $4 for $1, and now they're $4 for $1.25. So like everything in this world, prices have gone up. So a few years ago, I couldn't find yellow string beans any place I looked. They had 2 packs left at Dollar Tree, so I bought them for $4 for $1. They were prolific. The same with Sweet William. Good to know because I just planted Sweet William. Calendula, snapdragon, zinnia, petunias, and a lot more. I put the petunias all over my yard in ground and pots. The next year I noticed little baby petunia seedlings growing in the flower beds and in the cracks around areas where I had hanging pots. I dug them up and potted them, planted them, and had another season with a ton of petunias. She goes on to state a little more, but I will tell you that about petunias you grow from seed rather than buying like the super petunias, is they will reseed themselves given the right conditions. And if you have enough of them, I have for years had them cross-pollinate regular seed-grown or wave petunias also will go to seed, and you can collect the seed to sow, but you will get different colors. And they are very prolific. Now, I had some gal in here, and they're worth it. Okay, here it is, Mindy's Place. Here's her comment about the petunias. I planted the Dollar Tree petunias last year, and they performed as well as my wave petunias and even better in pots. I wish I could insert a picture of my deck pots that contained a Super Petunia Vista bubblegum and a Dollar Tree petunias, both growing equally large. And so, and then Sandy Christensen said, I've also had great success with their petunias. And then Diane Webb, 8461, said, mine too, and the marigolds were huge. So a lot of people have been having a great success with the vegetables, with the flowers, and they're saying they're very prolific. One guy said he loves their black-seeded Simpson lettuce. So you see why, when there's standardization, like in the seed industry, why you can say, yeah, they're good quality seeds. And if you have the sell-by date, now let me see if the sell-by date is on here. Yeah, packed for 25, sell by December 25, 2025. So as industry standard requires, the seed date is on there. So I always get, oh, Carol Dragon 7545 says, I always get Dollar Tree seeds when they first come out because they fly off the rack. I have always had great success with them. And the Alaska peas I planted this August grew like crazy and were very productive. I used their radishes and many of the flowers. This year I will be trying daisies. I use my own seed starting mix instead of commercial varieties. That's very, very smart. I have a video out where I trialed potting mix versus seed starting mix. And because a lot of people say start with seed starting mix, I don't agree. So you can watch that video. I will link it here and I tell you why. I have also found seed starting mix to be hard. A lot of them is hydrophobic. So it's really hard to get them to get moist. Let's see. So also we talked about markers in that video. And one person said, I've used the plastic knives that never are used in the plastic cutlery sets you get for labels and markers. And I thought that was pretty cool. Someone else said they cut up mini blinds. They recycled them into markers to put into their containers. So that's good to know. Let's see. Oh, somebody says, I use popsicle sticks from my grandkids as markers in my seed starting trays and winter sowing jugs. I tried that. They mildewed and molded. Some people said it hasn't done that for them, and others agreed with me that that's what happened to them. I have some. I'm thinking of like painting the top half that sits above the soil line with acrylic paint, which is non-toxic, but I don't want it touching the soil either, and the half that's not painted in the soil. And then I can use those as markers. I even have chalk paint that I could do that with. But maybe that'll prevent them from molding. I'll even show you. I'll show you the kind of mold. Like over here is a clothespin that I have holding up a rose cane in my little propagation tank. And you see how it's black with mold? That's what gets on the sticks when I've used them. So you try and see how that works for you. That you can get the little craft sticks at Dollar Tree, a bunch of them in a package for $1.25. So it's not that big of a deal. Like you're out $1.25 if they don't work. Now I don't know that that mold spreads to any of the plants. I thought it was ugly. So, okay. Some actually literal Kyle commented, astonishing that you, without irony, made me watch that whole video to say, I'll let you know in a week. Well, actually, I think I said 2 weeks. When you know full well that how they turn out in 6 months is much more relevant to any conversation regarding whether they are worth it. Well, Kyle, I'm assuming that's your name, I would say, relate to you or tell you to go and look at everyone's comments at the success they had. And yes, I full well intend to come back in the summer and show you how they're doing, because I think it's great to show your success out in the garden. And yeah, if I told everybody you got to wait 6 months, I think I already had people commenting that they thought it was pretty sad that I didn't do a before and show after, like do this video now for the whole thing. And because everybody likes instant. I'm a slow gardener. Get used to slow gardening here. That means I show you that it takes time. It's not an instant gratification thing here. So it's just like my cuttings. I could have taken the cuttings and then waited to do the video on how to do them. and then showed you the success. But the sad part of that is, like, right now is when the seeds are available at Dollar Tree. If I would have waited 6 months, you would have had to wait till the following January to get seeds. Right now, when they're available, I wanted you to be able to go and get them and then try them for yourself. And obviously they work well, because so many people have had such great success. Let's see. Okay, Mary Beth Gardner 111 states, actually their gladiola bulbs work well too. One year I tried fritillaria and they also grew fine. It's worth a try for $1.25 and I've had success. I agree. And I've been trying to check for when they get those bulbs in, and I will try them. I love gladiolas. I know some people had said that they thought they were like a funeral flower, and that took me by surprise. I've never thought of them as a funeral flower. I have always thought of them as just a beautiful flower to have in the garden. And for me, they bloom a little bit later. Okay. Let's see. One commenter, Lori Prince, said, I cut up yogurt containers for tags. That's a great idea. If you don't have, like, some people don't always have mini blinds to cut up, but a lot of people use yogurt. And so you can cut them up and make tags. I love recycling things practically like that. Let's see. I had a lot of thank yous from people, as far as, oh, we're going to go out and try to find some Dollar Tree seeds now. I just was seeing a bunch of those as I'm going through. Oh, well, here's another one. Pat C commented, I cut plant tags out of white milk jugs, or like the translucent ones that I do. These ones I cut for my winter sowing containers. Yes, if you cut strips from that, those would make really good labels as well. So, and to get the marker off, I use alcohol. Somebody said to use nail polish remover. That will work too, but I just use straight rubbing alcohol, and that usually takes it off. Yeah, some that I've tried, and things that some that I know things about that tell you that maybe you want to think twice about it. Here's a really nice comment I enjoyed. Susan K4R5Q said, this was so helpful and informative. I love how you explain things as if we were right there in the room with you. Thank you so much for taking the time to share your wealth of planting knowledge, tips, and experience with all of us out here in the YouTube world. Thank you. That is really my intent here, is to share what I've learned. There is a lot of, one garden blogger called it nonsense about garden hacks, tips, tricks out in the garden. And some of them, in fact, I was thinking of doing like a video on some garden hacks you need to be wary of. You're always welcome to do what you want, but sometimes I think people need fair warning. They may not know all the nuances of a so-called hack that could be detrimental. And I just want everyone to have all of the knowledge before they make a choice of whether to use a hack or not. Okay, y'all, I wanted to get that out there. I got interrupted, so I don't know where I'm at now, but that's okay. I think I need to end this. It's getting too long. And I'm going to be coming back with that veggie, my favorite veggies that I grow every year video, to let you know, in case you want to try them, and all of that. So I hope you enjoyed this follow-up. I will do another follow-up. I'll do a follow-up probably in a month or two, showing you how these seeds are doing, as well as other seeds I will have started. And then when spring, when it's warming up and my winter sown seeds have started to come up, I'll share those too, and the results of my winter sowing. Some years do better than others. This has been a very weird winter. It's very warm. I don't even have my heat on out here today. And then tomorrow we're supposed to get rain and snow. So you never know. It's supposed to be like 60 degrees today. Very warm. And I feel sorry for all you folks back there in ice country, including Miami, where you've been getting snow. Heavens, you're not used to it. I'm used to it, so it's not as big of a deal. But I hear you. I feel for you. So I will see you in my next video, and we'll talk more gardening. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll see you then.